how's it going? It's me, Silver Robic, and today we're going to continue on with the lady's choice. If you don't remember what happened in the last video, guy basically broke up with us for, it's not unknown reasons. I can assume what happened, because Lord Huntington's a damn bastard. So, yeah. Indeed it is. I don't know if you, I already said it. I really don't want to do deep voices because my voice is gonna crack. Arabella's arm slides out from mine, shuffling closer to the colonel without her seeming to even realize. Oh, well, I wish. I just realized Valentine's Day passed and I'm still alone. Yeah, you're probably gonna see this like way late. I turned slightly away, hoping to give them a little privacy on the last evening together. Oh, no. Ew. When I saw him, my heart just like broke a little. I'm just like, no. Because I know, like, nothing, well, this is the night of the fight. Well, like, not the fight, like, with fists, but like, verbally. If we actually physically fought, that's, weird. Only to find Guy now stood beside me. Miss Buttersworth here, Captain Blake. He dips his head in a stiff bow and I give a small curtsy in response. Oh, how wonderful to be all together again for this night, wouldn't you say, Guy? Ernest slaps Guy in the back enthusiastically, though it only makes the captain stumble a bit. He does not reply. Well, I think it would be a damn shame to spend tonight just milling around. Miling? Who knows? Let's all join in dancing. Do the dance. Do. I feel like I gave him a voice, but I just forgot what it was. Sorry if you hear a lot of like moving around. I'm moving around. My hands hurt. I could not agree more. Ernest glances to Guy with more concern than I think I've ever seen from the usually jovial man. I think that's the first time I've ever seen him sad, now that I think about it. Okay. Is that why we came tonight, Guy? Did you not wish for a few last memories of a good season? Guy shifts his gaze away, his shoulders stiffening. Come, Ernest, the partners are lining up. Concern gives way to genuine delight as Arabella leads the colonel towards the dancers. We did have an agreement, did we not, Miss Buttersworth? You? Excuse me? Oh, I just realized I didn't say that in a British accent. Excuse me. Did we not agree to take the opportunity to dance at every event together that we can? There's a tension to his voice, but he speaks so softly it makes my chest ache. Wait, let me read these. These are long sentences. I will not hold you to such an agreement if you do not wish it. I believe such an arrangement to be broken when other arrangements between us were severed. We did have an agreement, and I would most enjoy keeping it. Yeah, I'm not sure what you want. I know they're like hinting that he still loves us, but to me as Jane, we're still like just evenly like us. Like, I don't want to make him uncomfortable. He's probably just following the agreement that we made, but he probably doesn't want to, so I'm not gonna force him to. I will not hold you to such an agreement if you do not wish it. He takes a step closer, all of my anger and confusion at his behavior settling a little at his proximity. I do not wish to break my every promise to you. Allow me to keep this one. The shock of his statement must be obvious on my face, and I barely know how to respond. I know I do not deserve it, but I would ask for this dance. You would deserve it if you would simply tell me what is happening. Why have things changed? Did your feelings truly shift? Yo, I be bad at fights. Did your feelings truly shift so much? Never. His voice suddenly cuts off, his brows creasing in anger as he stares at something behind me. Nah, I knew it was him. I just didn't want it to be him. Good evening, Miss Buttersworth Hute. I'm just loving my last name. A not too familiar voice sends a shiver creeping up my spine. I flick my head around to see Lord Huntington directly behind, and I can't help but shuffle back a couple of steps on instinct. Good evening, Lord Huntington. The man's gaze does not meet mine, instead flicking to the captain beside me. Any anger that may have stiffened the guy's face quickly disappears. He gives a deep bow. He's like a freaking robot. Good evening, Miss Buttersworth Hute, Lord Huntington. And then he simply walks away. I know that's what he's meant to do. It seems any promise he had planned on keeping is once again broken. My chest tightens in response, and I repent. Sorry, I can't even, cause my brain, I'm just like, I thought we were gonna have one last dance, but I guess not. And I reprimand myself silently for expecting anything different from the captain. He had made himself quite clear, and yet he obviously wished to dance. Confusion makes my mind swirl so much so I barely even hear what Lord Huntington has to say. Before I know it, he has taken my hand and led me towards where the other partners have lined up. I do not want. Can I just like, oh, I'm feeling sick. Bye. I don't know how to. No, if you say we don't know how to dance, he's just gonna be like. As the music begins, Huntington drifts towards me, and I barely manage to keep in step as I try to catch up with reality. We continue to dance, my feet following the motions from memory rather than my concentration. When Huntington takes my hand to lead me down the aisle of people, he speaks to break my silence. You're quite quiet tonight, Miss Buttersworth Hute. Though, it does seem you often make such mistakes when speaking in public. I can understand your hesitance in speaking. Yeah, if you understand that I don't want to speak to you, I'm just gonna say nothing. I say nothing, having neither the will, who knows, the will or energy to try and correct him on his assumptions. I don't even know what he said. I can't even think right now. You broke my brain. I hate this. I don't wanna be with you. You do not need. This guy's delusional. That's the word I was finding. Like, I was like, what is this guy? You do not need to be quite so worried when speaking in front of me. Why do you think I like you? No, no one likes you unless they're crazy. I can always inform you if you've spoken wrongly. I'm such a child. A flare of annoyance burns inside of me, but I swallow it back as we turn to face each other, the other couples passing by us. Wait, if I was rude and say that your presence does not inspire much conversation, you are mistaken, Lord Huntington. It is simply that your company does not inspire conversation that I remain so quiet. Yay. But then again... His lip curls into a sneer, his grip tightening on my hand as we turn to face each other and wait as the couples pass us by. Wow. I hold his stare as he glares at me. I believe it is time you considered your future, Miss Buttersworth Hute. Your wealth and title may be fixed in society, but your age and beauty are not. Fuck you. A man can only wait so long. And I believe I've been most patient, considering the circumstances. You don't even want to be with me. Why don't you screw off? You'll imagine if there was like not a side story, but in the beginning there are 3 paths. But what if he was the 4th path? That he actually really. I know this isn't what happened was now. That's not what happened. What? That's not what. See, you broke my brain. That's not what's happening now. But if he could have been the 4th path. and he actually loves us, and he's actually not as bad as we thought he was. But obviously that's not what's gonna happen right now. One might believe you had no thought to marriage or securing your line with the way you have behaved this season. And to carry on with that, military man, it is only my most gracious heart that I shall be sure to forgive you. But I don't understand. Excuse me. What I don't understand is why you can't find anyone else. Am I like one of the top wealthy people? I thought Arabella was just as... Like, why don't you go for Arabella? Is it because her husband died and that's like tainted or oh, it's because she's married before and she consummated the marriage and she's not pure or something. Some misogynistic bullshit. I grit my teeth, glaring at the man before me as he speaks without thought to anything but his own wishes. I have been told a woman's affections can shift with the breeze, so I'm sure your recent storms with a certain someone will blow you back in my direction. My winds were never in your direction, so I was blowing the other way. You're just following me. He gives such a pleased, assured smile that I barely hold back from marching from the dance floor. I'm thankful not to have to look at his face any longer as I spin around to take another partner for the rest of the dance. Thank the Lord. I turn on the spot, hold out my hand, and have it taken by someone I'm most grateful to see. Oh. I know it doesn't sound like I was grateful to see him, but I thought I was gonna be a guy. Ah, Jane! He says my name with such delighted surprise. I can't help but smile in genuine relief. I'm glad you are to be who I dance with now. Though I feel for poor Arabella. Me being with Ernest means that Arabella must be stuck with Lord Huntington. Oh, haha. Oops. Well, she could handle him. It's not like he's pining after her. So, I mean, he's just unpleasant. I glance over at the pair, neither looking happy about their situation. You do not seem comfortable with your previous partner. He takes my hand. Sorry. My butt hurts. Okay. He takes my hand and leads me closer towards him as we turn in a circle. I don't believe anybody could be with him. Yeah. He's gonna die alone, hopefully. Unless he finds, like, an equally bitchy, wife. Or maybe he turns out to be gay. Wow. That'd be a turn. He gives a gentle note of understanding. I hoped Guy would be the one to stand up with you. Your hope matches my own, but it is not meant to be. Yes, things have been most difficult for him. Difficult? What do you mean? He places a hand on the small of my back to walk behind the others as the music continues. The expected promotion did not occur. Oh wait, I just realized that I'm pretty much Guy's voice. Okay. The expected promotion did not occur. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't even know your voice anymore, man. The meeting with our superiors is not actually at all about a commendation or promotion. We come to a stop and wait for others to pass us by. Ernest leading closer to me than usual, so as not to be overheard. I believe he was told of what was expected of someone in his position. What do you mean? I speak plainly, if you would mind it. I give an eager nod. Someone had informed Lord Rockham that Guy had been acting out of line with a certain lady. So, y'all know it's Lord Huntington because he's a snake. Oh. Oh no. Guy was quickly told to remain in his place for the rest of the season, not to interfere with the affections of those in higher stations. If he did not, he would have been cast out from the military. I swear this is what I said. Bro, do I have, like, vision? No, it's predictable. They threatened him? You want, it probably sounded like Arabella. You must understand, Jane, if Guy had not done as they had asked, he would have returned to having nothing. He's worked far too hard for far too long to return to what he once was. And who was it that told them of... Jane, you already know who it was. And who was it that told them of Guy's behavior in the first place? Wait, I don't understand why he can't date someone of status. That does not make any sense. I cannot be certain, but I know there has been someone who has made very regular visits to the barracks of late. It's barracks? Barracks? Who knows? His gaze flickers to the side where Lord Huntington has stood with Arabella. Ernest's hands clasped my own, calming any anger that was about to burst forth from me. Guy is a good man. He deserves happiness as much as those around him try to prevent it. Please, do not blame him for this. Don't blame him for this. I blame Lord Huntington. He does not know how to take a damn hint. Just go after someone else. I'm sure there's a lady somewhere far away. And you can just move there. Just be far away. Who's more richer than me. And you can just take her status. Or whatever you want. As the dance draws to an end, I am left with my mind spinning faster than when it began. Ernest walks me to the side where Arabella is already waiting. What a most disagreeable man. She's obviously grumbling about Lord Huntington. I barely managed the rest of the dance with him. She's not a he. She lets out a sigh, a smile gracing her lips at being reunited with the one she truly wishes to spend time with. But I see you two had plenty of time to talk during your dancing. Something in her tone makes me believe she already knows what Ernest told me, but I can barely concentrate on it. I'm afraid I must leave you. There is someone I must speak. Why? I can't just say I'm gonna speak with Guy. People overhearing me. They both gave a nod of understanding. I move into the next room, spying Guy to one corner. I do not hesitate to walk towards him with purpose, too much on my mind to contain it any longer. Miss Buttersworth Hoot? He gives a small formal bow as I approach. Is it true? I do not know. Did you stop seeing me because Huntington had your superiors threaten your livelihood? His gaze slowly shifts back to meet mine, his focus unwavering. Yes. I didn't know how I was going to feel if it were true. Relief, surprise, guilt. A torrent of emotions well up inside. I can barely work out how to react. Is that all you have to say? I didn't want you to know. It was easier if you believed I did not care. Why? Why would you not tell me the truth? He steps away from the nearby crowd, his face tense with anger, and steps close to me. How much? I told you they were gonna fight. Because you do not know how humiliating it was, how humiliating it felt to not be able to reject them, to say no to their orders. If I had refused them, I would have had nothing. No family, no home, no career. I would have nothing to offer you. And at least this way I could see you for what time remained of the season. He swallows hard, glancing at me before turning away again. I thought it would be enough to just see you, but every time I felt empty. To have you so close, but to not be with you, was torture. You need to stop thinking of worth as being connected to title. I would have taken you with nothing. Did you not consider that I would feel the same? What? I don't even know that first. Wait, what? I'm trying to think of what he last said. That was an intense scene. Did you hear that music? Janetta? This coconut water tastes weird. Oh! Hey! That's not my alarm. Don't worry about it. Sorry. I mean, that's not for the video. We have 10 minutes more. It's probably gonna end the game by then. I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna yell at him. I would have taken you with nothing. I would have taken you with nothing. He gives a smile, though it is small and hollow. I know, but I know I would never have asked you to. You have never known what it is to have nothing, to be no one. I love you too much for you to suffer through that for me. Before I have a chance to truly take in his sudden declaration, I feel a hand on my arm bring me from my shock. I knew it. Sound like a whale. Miss Buttersworth Hughes, I confess I am very disappointed to find you here in this company. His gaze passes over the captain as though he's in order. Oh, ew. That was a weird way to say it. He cannot get from his nose. I cannot contain my own sneer, standing before the person who threatened to ruin the life of the man I cared about so deeply. His grip on my own tightens and he turns me forcefully away from Guy. No! I'm my own person, and I know where to go. You're not even my husband yet, so you can't even force me to do anything. I have been patient enough, but it is time you thought to your own duty. I ripped my arm from his grasp and turned to him with a scowl, unbelieving of the audacity this man has. You believe I would go anywhere near you after what you did to Guy? His face goes blank. He's a sociopath. Did you ask his superiors to tell him to step away from me? That is the source of your distress. He gives a genuinely amused laugh before I face the seriousness. I did what I had to secure my prize, Miss Buttersworth. No, no, no. I am a human being. I am not a prize.
I am not a man to be overturned so easily.
His arm wraps about my waist, the intrusive touch making me so tense so tightly. Wait, what? Making me tense so tightly my limbs ache.
Now, let us return to the other hall to speak more on.
As my body relaxes enough to react, I don't get the chance. What? Oh. You punched? No! You're gonna get in trouble! No, no, no! Guy! I know he was angry, but... You don't do that. Because he's a lord, he's gonna do... Oh no. Huntington's head snaps to one side as Guy's fist connects with his jaw. I low-key want him to die now, but okay. Nah, he's just gonna get in more trouble if he does. Sorry, it is. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm ruining the moment. I stumble back as Huntington falls to the ground, clutching his mouth. Guy glares down at him, fists clenched at his sides. Anger flares from across his face, making his grey eyes suddenly flicker like embers come to life. This is great. He says nothing, only watching carefully as Huntington crawls back onto his feet. You! How dare you! No, sir, how dare you! Miss Buttersworth has expressed her disinterest in you many times, and still you continue to harass her. It's enough, Lord Huntington. Thank you, Guy, but, like, the punch was kind of unnecessary. That's what he would say. Enough! He lets out a sharp bark of laughter. It's only now I notice the crowd gathered about us, everyone gasping as Huntington wipes a streak of blood away from his lip.
You are a fool, Captain. If you're so determined to have your place in society, then we'll settle this like gentlemen. Tomorrow at dawn by the old tree.
Don't be so ridiculous. Guy! Huntington gives a long smile, the action creating another dribble of blood from the split in his lower lip.
Bleed more. Bleed your whole body out. What?
Until then, Captain. He marches away, pushing through the crowd who have all gathered to witness the excitement. I flick my gaze to Guy, who does not look at me before striding away also. I stare after him, wide-eyed for a moment, shaking myself out of my shock to follow him and try to talk some sense into one of them. It's less busy in this room. Most have gathered in the other hall, to gossip over what just occurred. It takes me a while to find Guy, who has hidden himself behind a long red velvet curtain that blocks off one side of the room. Oh, I thought someone was knocking. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. My nose is running, and I'm probably ruining my nose. Ruining the feeling of it with my sniffing. As I walk around the material, I'm pleased for the relative privacy that it gives. Guy, he paces a little from one side, oh dear, to the other, barely registering my presence. It's not much of a surprise, considering what he just agreed to do. Please don't go through with this. I won't let you fight him. This evening has turned out unexpected. What if you're free if you do this?
Because he always talked about his career. It's all he has. But he's risking his career if he does this, because Lord Huntington is friends with his chief? Who's in charge of him? What if your career if you do this? You've worked so hard for all you have. You could lose everything once again. Yes. I can't imagine I will have a place in the military should they hear of this. And what if you're losing your life? Duels rarely take a life. What do you mean? You know this from experience? He was a secretive half smile. I don't know the story. Possibly. Of all the times for him to find a sense of humor. This is not a situation to jest about. No, it is not. But it has forced me to see clearly, to know the truth I kept denying. I need to chew with my nose for a minute. What truth? He glances at me, a sudden intensity in his eyes that make my legs weak. I cannot give you up. Whoa! Kiss! We kissed! Fantastic! Finally! Yay! This is great! I just need to drink my water. Oh. His lips press against mine suddenly, my eyes fluttering shut in response as his arms wrap about me. I am lost to him in a moment. I grasp his jacket, almost overcome by the surprising urgency to his kiss, his mouth catching mine as though we'd never tasted anything sweeter than each other. The lingering taste of wine on his lips gives me a vague recollection that we are somewhere else with other people. But I care little, my attention focused only on the feel and need of the man embracing me tightly. When he pulls away, I almost stumble back. I had been wishing to do that since meeting you. I bring my fingers to my lips, hoping to keep the feel of the kiss a little longer. Guy. Ernest's voice cuts through my reverie, and I blink a few times to clear my head. It is no surprise he is searching for me, but let's head alongside. Oh, Steve. You will have heard what has happened by now. His words remind me of why exactly I'd followed him here. What will he do? I don't know, but whatever it is, I hope to face it at your side.
Oh, well, I'm sick right now, so I'm probably gonna die before it.
I would have you nowhere else but at my side. It kind of sounds selfish. Like I'm not at his side, you know? I love you, you know that? I'm so sorry. I did not expect you to cease this much. I would have us stand together. I would have us stand together as one. You by my side as I would be at yours. He reaches out, running his fingers against my cheek. You are truly remarkable. To know you feel such a way. You will carry me through whatever it is to come. Oop. He swallowed down. Down the well of emotions his words stirred me. He steps forward and places a gentle kiss on my forehead before striding back into the moment. Yeah, that weird thing that just happened, that was me trying to conceal a sneeze. As I step out from behind the curtain, I almost collided into Arabella rushing into the room. Arabella, Arabella, there you are. Tell me it's not true. I say nothing, only giving a nod. You are quite alright. Huntington was not delicate in his trying to take you from the captain. I'm fine, but Guy, yes, that was unexpected and incredibly foolish. I have no doubt the captain is capable enough to win such a duel, but even should he win, the features differ in uncertainty. Should he wound a lord, he will be cast up. But I mean, it's a duel. It's not like he did it intentionally. I mean, he could have. What's it called? He could have rejected the duel. Like, no. He isn't even the one who called it. It was Lord Huntington, so he should be responsible for his own injuries because he's the one who called it onto himself. So I hope he dies. He probably won't though. Let's be honest. Is there a way he can pull out of this duel? He could, but he'd be labeled a coward for doing as such. I do not care what they would call him, as long as he is safe. She gives a nod of understanding, rubbing her hand into my arm in comfort. Come, let us head home. There's little we can do now. With heavy reluctance, I follow her from the room to retrieve our things. I sleep little that night. Fear, worry, uncertainty crash inside of me like a storm inside my heart. When the sun breaks, I am awake to greet it. Arabella and I head to the park at dawn. No birdsong to greet us. Only the piercing rays of early morning light cut through the chill fog, illuminating the scene before us. And this is where I will leave it off, because this is probably like the last moments of the game. So, until the next, bye.